morning, friends and family. Oh dear. See, as soon as I get started, the dogs are saying good morning as well. Hi, this is our Zoom Mountain Spirit, and I'm coming to you from my beautiful country of Belize. Hi, everyone. Shout out. Dogs are shouting out too. So much has happened since we last spoke, and there's so much I want to show you. First of all, the um, the garden has undergone a tremendous transformation. So I just wanted you to see what's been happening. A lot of work, a lot of work. But what you don't know is that we've also had a lot of water. Even with the slightest rain, look at all this flooding in front of my house. It was much higher than that. I couldn't even get out. It was so high. And this is despite the culvert and the dugouts that the town councils have done. Still, it's all of that water. But it is getting better. So what's happened is that I got flooded in here as well. Everywhere you see there where it's dark, I was full of water. All of that was full of water. In fact, that reminds me, I want to put on, oh dear, how do I do this now? I want to put on my rubber boots so that I can show you around the place and you can see all the new things that have taken place. So because of the flooding and the oversaturated areas, a lot of the plants couldn't take it, and I could see already that there was a lot of root rot. I had some succulents, some cacti. They couldn't take all of that water, and of course, you know, the watermelon. They were already they're watermelons, so they don't know any better. They just kept taking water until they started bursting one by one, and the ones that didn't burst actually rotted at the bottom. But this is not a horror story. Actually, it's a lesson. It's the earth teaching me how to behave, how to plant better, and how the earth and us can work better together. We really have to pay attention. So I'm paying attention. There are some disappointments in that it's really no longer about me just growing what I want to grow. I really have to listen to the earth and pay attention to what she wants to grow, or what Mother Earth needs to grow. We have an obligation to work together, right? Because it's just us. And really, when it gets down to it, the ones who stand to lose more is us. So I'm gonna show you a look around, and you'll see the differences. It's not all bad news. A lot of it is actually good. Now, interestingly, I don't know if you're familiar with the trumpet. This is a trumpet tree. You've heard me talk about the trumpet vine. And the interesting thing about that, and oh geez, they're falling off, but I really wanted to show you this. Okay, this is a medicinal plant. It's prehistoric almost. I mean, it has hardly evolved. Good morning. We use it for a lot of medicines. I'm going to do a whole nother up close and personal about the trumpet tree. But this is pretty much what it looks like. Just take a picture of it with your eyes, because what I want to show you is that in times of inclement weather, when there's storm coming and when the rain season is coming, this is a tree that tells us it gets, you see these spots here, it gets all brown around here on the edges. The bottom leaves will get inexplicably brown for no other reason. There's nothing wrong with your plant other than to let you know that there's storms out at sea, there's rain coming. We just had a big one. Looks like there's a little bit more coming. But when the rain season is done, these no longer show those symptoms. So this is not just a trumpet tree, it's also a weather tree. It reports the weather. So we let it grow. It's really good for the land. It's good for humans, but it's also good for the land. You see it has that that bamboo-like structure. It's one of the fastest growing trees in the rainforest. It grows incredibly fast. It probably wasn't even here the last time we spoke. And right next to it, it has a little guardian, a beautiful Damiana. It's my favorite Damiana. And for some reason, look what happened. The watermelon kind of rose up a notch. They decided to jump into the bed with the trumpet tree. I have to do a little repair. All of that water came in and did a whole lot of damage. So this is what we have. You see, all of that was full of water there. It came in from here. I'm telling you, family, this is no joke. This climate change thing, it's serious. And you see how the watermelons just gave up. But in all fairness, I got a good 20 or so watermelon from this harvest. So I was very happy. I was harvesting once or twice a month, because that's how they were keeping me. I would get like a week or two out of each watermelon. They were so big. Okay, so these guys are all nice and happy. But when the big rain started coming, I knew immediately I had to dig up the gingers, because they cannot take all of that water. The gingers and the cacti are not the type of plants that can withstand all of that. They will rot on you with too much water. So there's a sort of see a corella growing there, I guess, to guard the ground. It helps to absorb the extra water, but it also helps give the plant some shade, keeps the soil cool for a better crop, and also retains a lot of nutrition in the soil, because over here, the other bad news about all the water is that it washes out all of the nutrition. It just runs through here. It doesn't even sit for that long. It just runs through here. So I dug up a specimen from each one of these beds, and I'm creating a potted garden to the back. And this has been the most labor intensive, because it's just me, and it's been really really heavy lifting these things, plus the fact that it's been raining so much. But we did make progress. So I completed the this little planting bed here with some vanilla. Now I'm not gonna bore you with everything else, but I really wanted to show you the progress of the vanilla. Look at that. Remember, they were just sticks and they weren't doing very well. And so all the vanilla. And then these are the vanilla that were planted underneath the soursop tree. I just gave them a little support because the wind was blowing so hard. And I didn't want the little babies to get knocked off, but they're shooting up. Look, see, they're giving off their little shoots. The dead leaves are coming off, and it's wrapping itself around the trunk of the soursop. I just love the way they're coming through. And while I was moving the garden, I found a little tiny aloe plant that I long forgotten. So I dug it up and I put it there, and I'm praying that it puts up a fight, that it puts up a good fight. So that's a couple of pieces of the leaf of life. That's a Bauhinia, pata de vaca there. That's that orchid. The also called a cow foot, because the leaves look like the foot of a cow. And that's the leaf that we use for the vegetable insulin. And of course, it grows much bigger than that. But that's what we got. Oh, but I said I was going to show you the vanilla. Let's go. Let me be true to my word. And look, that's some of the yellow ginger that I moved out from that bed I just showed you. But here's another vanilla. Look at that. Look at that. Just two little pieces that I put in this pot. And now it's growing up the fence. Here's another little trumpet tree. I'm gonna leave him there. I'm not gonna move him because he's not really in my way. Some yellow ginger that came in, I'm gonna dig them out. But here is another vanilla that was just a little tiny piece. And if you can look in here, look. It's just so alive under there. It's just doing so well. Yeah, I'm really grateful to John Arana who gave me these little cuttings of vanilla. And he said, just put them in the ground. So I'm going to be staking this one up so that it grows up more, kind of like that one. That's really how they should all be going. That's the direction they all need to be going. Yeah, so those are the vanillas. And what would life be without showing you the orchid? Look at this. This is the happiest I have seen this guy. Oops. Let me find another angle for you. I'm gonna find you another angle. Look at that. Is that not lovely? This is the black orchid. Wow. I've never gotten 3 blossoms before, ever. So I'm totally excited. And so these are some of the other plants. These neem are going to be going into the ground. These are teeny tiny neem. I bought some culantro and some cilantro at the market, and I cut the bottom off and planted them. And look, they're coming along. That's the Artemisia. I also started tagging them, giving them names, so that there's always someone who knows what these things are. Here's a mahatita. But what's getting me is that this is the king of bitters, right? These two are the same plant. But look how different they're coming out. I don't know if this is a different variety or if it's just more mature. It's the same soil, and yet this one is having a whole lot of babies, right? The only difference is this one has a rosemary growing in it, so I'm gonna try taking the rosemary out. There's also a tomatillo. There's a nightshade growing in there, so I'll be separating that, and maybe that will help it. And here's your cola nut tree. So happy. I'm going to leave them there because they're growing like a little team, like a little family. They've known each other since they were this big, so I'm going to leave them together. There's a little kitty cat, a little mean one, but she alright. In there are some cashew trees. Someone brought me some cashews, and I ate the fruit. I made juice out of it, and the ones that I liked, like the really sweet ones, I put the seeds back here. I just threw them back there until I figured out what to do, but I can't believe it after the big rain. This enormous change. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees. You see the cat is sitting on top of one? Yeah, I have 5 little cashew trees. Hopefully we can dig them up and replant them somewhere. Alrighty, so off we go. Here's the Zedawari. Nice Zedawari. I'll have a name tag for this one too. You see how you can see the red stripe better now that it's happy? When that plant is happy, it's not going to have all of these brown spots. The leaves are not going to be totally green or faded. You're going to get this bright indicator of health, plant health right there. That's another great plant. Check out the video on my channel, Arzu Mountain Spirit, on the Zedawari. It's a little known medicinal plant and very, very easy to grow. It's in the ginger family. Please get to know it. It replaces so many medications that are out there. Yeah. Hi, so this is Arzu Mountain Spirit. Welcome to my channel. If you like what you're seeing, please click the like, give us a like, and let us know what you think in the comment section. Also, for those of you who have not subscribe, please subscribe. And thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed. Our channel is growing, and I have you to thank for it. So please continue to share. Thank you for letting me know. For giving me all your feedback, letting me know what you like and what you don't like. I really appreciate it. It helps me put out valuable content. So please keep it going. The next time I show you this garden, now that the sun is out and the rain has stopped, hopefully, the next time I show you this garden, it will be a lot better organized. The the bins will be planted more properly. What's happening is that there isn't enough nutrition in the bins to sustain the size of the plants that are in there now. So I'm going to be repotting a lot of them, and only I know where they're supposed to go. I need some learned people to come and help me with this. So remember how we potentiated the soursop tree with that ceremony? Well, I can't even stand here and count the, oh dear, I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes here, but I guess that's like the price we pay, right? I want to share with you, so I'm taking the bite. Look, here's one. Now, there are about 15 of them, right? I would count with you, but the mosquitoes are pretty much controlling. Oops, where are you? Oh gosh. Oh dear, the camera doesn't like what I'm doing. Here's another one, right? Now I'm inside the tree to show you these. Now up there, there's two more. I've never seen two hanging like that, right? And then, okay, so keep your eye on, okay, so there's that one, and then there's, where are you? There's another one. You see the spike sticking out? And if I can get on the other side of the tree, I can show you some other ones. Here we go. Here's another side. Now, you see? Is one, two, where's the other one? Three in there. And there are more. I just can't get in there. I'm too chicken to fight with the mosquitoes because honestly, this is their time. This is truly their time, so I have to leave them alone. But I have about, I don't know how much we counted just now, but in my private moment when I bundle up and put a sweater on and sleeves to guard from the mosquitoes, I counted 19 fruit. And remember, I had just gotten one fruit. I had only gotten one fruit, and I took that fruit, that first fruit, and I gave it back to the tree. And that's why we believe the tree now rewards us with the next crop being for us, for all of us. So the tree has given me, there are 20 soursop growing up there in different intervals. I don't know if there are more coming, but I should tell you that I already harvested two. So that was, oh, blackjack, 21. Actually, it was 21 soursop altogether that I have. So that is what's been going on. The contribo, I dug up the contribo. It was on a planting bed way over there. I dug the contribo, and I also dug up the cinnamon tree. So the contribo I dispersed throughout in little patches. I put them in pots. Here's one doing really well. Here's another one. They're gonna grow up to be pretty big. Another time I'll take you to the back and show you the more mature ones. They just don't like to be bothered right now. The curry tree took a little dip, but he's coming back, so we'll be keeping an eye on him too. I have a, I don't know if I showed you before, I have a loofah fruit. So I'll be cutting that one up and planting it. I just haven't decided where I want to put it. I have to put it along a shade or something. I mean, along the shed. So I put some pretty flowers here. Um, there's some Damiana that's hurting because they got too much water. After I planted them, just too much water went there. Even though it's a little raised, it's not really helping. So I have to be patient with it. It's just have some pretty purple flowers and some John Charles there. Um, Checking in. Now, mind you, you're doing this with me, okay? Thank you for staying with me. I'm going to check on the Starfruit because I wasn't able to get back here. All of this was wet. It was full of water. Look how full he is. I definitely have to prune him for the next fruiting. This is just too much leaf for that little tree. And I'm starting to think that this Starfruit tree may be a dwarf because I wasn't sure that they were supposed to bear fruit at this size. At any rate, what I came here to show you was when I first put these in the ground, when I made the planting bed, I put some gingers down here. So I wanted you to see. Now I have to keep fighting here with the morning glory. But it's just a battle that has to go on. You know, that's just the way. That's just the way it has to be between us. We have an understanding. So I just keep fighting with the morning glory. So what you see, these are the yellow gingers. This is turmeric. I had put some tiny pieces of turmeric down here. Now I've heard that turmeric likes the shade, but it really loves it down here. This is incredibly fast growth for turmeric. That is maybe 6 weeks old. But this is the best growth I've gotten from any turmeric that I planted. Like this was really quick. It likes it down here. It's the same soil I used everywhere, but it's just something about this starfruit tree. It's just something about it that the turmeric really likes him. I mean, here's one. They're just coming up. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm gonna have to trim this guy. So what I wanted to show you was I'm gonna have to be brave and go in the back and show you the the contribo. Look at this. Remember the lantana come back? It's finally flowering. It's finally flowering. My goodness, this is such a pretty. Now, these come in orange, yellow, and red, and also in bluish lavender like this. And it's the same plant, but the color has something to do with the pH in the soil. So depending on the soil. Now I'm starting to think, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know. It might be a craboo. I have no idea now. Uh-oh, look at that. A yellow ginger. I have to dig him up and put him in his proper ground. So I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with here, but what I'm gonna start filling this up with food waste. That's how I make my little beds rich. That's how I made that bed rich. That's how I made this bed rich. I just take the my kitchen waste and start putting it in there and putting in soil. And look, here's one that's on the way, right? So this is under this shed. And since there was space under there, rather than to have weeds grow and fight with them, I just took all my trash, organic trash, and started putting it in there. It got submerged underwater, so I got it. Ah, man, I got some nice material coming in. Oops. Oh, gosh. Guys, forgive me, okay? Sorry. Got a nice material coming in. And there's a Corella plant that I found, so I just built a little shrine around it. Oh dear. Let us move on. So, So that's what the garden is looking like right now. I had to remember how the bins were over there, so we moved those, and those are the bins that are now over here. You know, guys, I'm getting really sensitive and pensive now because this is, I think for me, this is the most beautiful garden I've ever had. You know, I got to plant what I wanted. I'm learning so much from the land. Nature is teaching me so much, so I'm deeply grateful. And even though it looks like a lot of loss and gain, I only feel what I've gained from having planted this garden. I mean, the sufferings, the wins and the and the losses, they all feel like I'm a better farmer for it. I'm a much better farmer for it. And I totally thank you for taking this walk with me. It's it's less lonely having you around. I hope at some point, um, you consider coming out and visiting, at least visiting the country, getting to know the plants. Um, I found this passiflora, this passion flower, um, the other day when they were cutting the yard. So I just built a little shrine around it, and I put a couple of wires directing it to the fence, and already it knows its way. This is passion flower. It's supposed to give a really beautiful flower. I don't even know what variety it is. Um, it will give buds or something. Something is gonna happen. Oh, these are just curly things. So maybe, no, wait a minute. Maybe it is fruit. Is that fruit? Holy moly! Is it really? Oh wow! It's a fruit. Okay, so a flower. Excuse my hands, boy. So a flower is gonna come out of there, and we're gonna get a fruit. We're gonna get a passion fruit. Wow! Thank you. Well, you know the rules. That passion fruit is not. It's not for me to eat. That's a mistake we all make. That first passion fruit belongs to the land and all the critters that helped bring it along. Wow, thank you. Yeah, this neem tree is so old. I mean, he must be like 5 years old, but he doesn't know how old he is. He really has to grow up. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what else to do with it, but you just leave it alone. I think it keeps reacting to the drastic changes of too much water and no water, and that little ant nest down there doesn't help. Yeah, that doesn't help. Hmm. Another one, a coconut that I have no idea. This guy here, I really want to save him. This is the only specimen I have in my entire yard that looks like this. That's this color. I hope it's not just reacting to some kind of acid thing in the coconut. I hope it really is this color. So I'm gonna leave it grow and see what happens. I love this guy. There you are, guys. So this is my life, man. This is my life, and welcome to my life. Look at the water. On the other side of my fence, it's like I have a river growing up there. Yep. Yeah, we're seriously being challenged by the weather. We have to adapt. So listen, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Me and this pissabed plant with all the new babies coming in. We are going to say goodbye for this morning. Thank you for tuning in. Love you very much. This is Arzu Mountain Spirit. Give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And look at all the other videos about all the other plants that are on my channel, Arzu Mountain Spirit. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook. You can find me real easy. Love you. Bye.